it's a philosophy of going the extra mile. It's to do unto others. It's part of our mission statement is to follow the golden rule, and that really breaks down to treating other people as you want to be treated, giving the kind of service that you want to give. People don't talk about average service. People only talk about really great service or really lousy service. We want our customers to talk about us, but we want them to talk about us, our great service. That's what we're trying to get them to talk about. Average service, nobody talks about. We want them to talk about our great service. And we do a lot of things. Our employees look for ways to kind of go over the top. And in this company, they're rewarded when they do that. I hope there's hundreds of examples out there, and I hope there are 100 more still to come.
Awareness about pancreatic cancer and research into early detection, causes, and effective treatments.
I would like to thank the City of Amarillo, the Mayor's Office, the City Commissioner's Office for your contribution to fighting against pancreatic cancer by declaring November 2012 National Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month in Amarillo, Texas. March 2011, my mother went to the hospital and was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. She was told, unfortunately, there was nothing that could be done and was sent home with no hope of recovering. 3 weeks later, my mother passed away. The incident and death rate for pancreatic cancer are increasing. It is anticipated to move from the 4th to the 2nd leading cause of cancer death in the United States by 2020, possibly as early as 2015. Because there are no early detection tools or effective treatments, only 6% of those diagnosed will survive more than 5 years. It is the only major cancer with 5-year survival rate in the single digits today. We desperately need early detection and a cure for this disease. I am wearing purple today in honor of my mother and everyone fighting the fight against pancreatic cancer. I hope you will show your support in the month of November by help supporting and wear purple in support of pancreatic cancer awareness. Thank you.
I think one other thing I'd like to add is pancreatic cancer is such a cruel disease.
It is.
Because of the pain and the requirements for hospice.
Absolutely.
And so if you've ever seen it, it will be for the rest of your life.
That is correct.
So,
Thank you.
please.
At the suggestion of the Commission, I would like to ask us all to sit in silence for just a moment, thinking about those people who are suffering so much on the East Coast today. We were struck by the people who had a hurricane hit down south years ago, and we thought we would have evacuees. Those people have a tremendous chore ahead of them. There's millions of people affected. They'll be affected for an extended period of time. Let's take just a moment to remember those people. Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Amarillo City Commission held on the 3rd floor of City Hall this Tuesday at 3 p.m. The first item of business on today's agenda is the minutes. Attached to the copy of the minutes, those minutes are pertaining to the meeting held on October 23rd, 2012. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes as presented? not, I entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move for approval of the minutes as presented.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 5-0 vote. Next item of business today is ordinance number 7371. This is the first reading of an ordinance annexing 16.35-acre tract of land in Section 62, Block 9, BS&S Survey, Randall County. It was approved by a 6-0 vote of the Planning and Zoning Commission. We have a map up showing that area. I guess this is just another section as we've been progressing through this. Any comments, Mr. City Manager?
Well, Mayor, I think that that's well said. This was a process that you began several weeks ago. Today's action is the next to the last step in annexing the displaced piece of property.
Are there any questions from the audience about this ordinance or from the commission? If not, I entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 7371.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for ordinance number 7371. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 5-0 vote. Ordinance number 7372. This is the first reading of an ordinance approving and clarifying the assessment method of property located within the Redstone Public Improvement District, PID. The proposed assessment establishes a method to be an amount equal to the current value of a lot multiplied by the appropriating factor, which is currently 0.0017 cents. Approval of this ordinance will ensure a more equitable assessment method across properties in the subdivision. Are there any questions about this ordinance from the audience, from the commission? Not, I entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve ordinance number 7372.
I second.
A motion and a second for ordinance number 7372. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 5-0 vote. Ordinance number 7373. This is first reading of an ordinance appointing a presiding judge for the City of Amarillo Municipal Court. This appointment will be effective on January 1st, 2013. Are there any comments from the audience about this ordinance? From the commission? If not, I entertain a motion.
Well, I guess part of the comment too is I
Sure.
make this motion, and that is that I hope most people know that Donna Clayton, our presiding judge right now, has announced her retirement at the end of December, and they were telling me back in the back here that between her time as with the city attorney's office and the municipal court, Donna served the city 27 years. So we thank her for that service, and the appointment is for Sonia Ledson to be presiding judge, who's currently the associate judge there. So with that said, I move that we approve ordinance number 7373.
Specifically named Sonia Ledson.
Well, it does that in the body of this. The ordinance doesn't state the name, which is.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of ordinance number 7373 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 5-0 vote. And we add our congratulations to both Donna and to Judge Ledson. Thank you. Resolution, Texas Water Development Board application for financial assistance. This resolution authorizes the submission of an application for financial assistance to the Texas Water Development Board in the amount not to exceed $1,310,000. The application is for a planning and design phase of a proposed project to connect the Osage potable water treatment plant to the Arden Road pump station with a single large diameter water pipeline. Doing so will greatly increase the water supply available to the southwest area of Amarillo and will support the recent improvements made in both Potter County Wellfield and the Osage potable water treatment plant high service pump station. Collectively, these projects will increase the capacity and safety of the water system. Should this application be approved, the city will receive favorable financing terms for $1,310,000 and will receive preference toward future applications related to construction of the proposed project. Are there any questions from the audience regarding this resolution? Any from the commission? City Manager, any comment on this?
So, Mayor, I think that that was well said. This is the initial phase. This $1.31 million would be for the design, for the engineering necessary. Should that be successful, we'll then be in a better place to look towards assistance for the construction. When we talk about favorable financing, that is presently 1.25% or 125 basis points off of the market rates. With funding being probably as cheap as it's ever been, I think this is a great opportunity for us.
Great. Well-needed project. Any comments? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I would move the approval of this resolution to submit an application to the Texas Water Development Board for financial assistance on this project.
I'll second that motion.
So we have a motion and a second for resolution number 5 listed on the agenda. Are there any? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 5-0 vote. Consent agenda. It's recommended the following items be approved and the city manager be authorized to execute all documents necessary for each transaction. A is the award of engineering service agreement, landfill cell number 10. B is the acceptance of State Homeland Security Program grant award. C is the acceptance of the Emergency Management Performance Grant Award. D is the approval of tax abatement agreement for Prana Development Group, CPT Boulevard 2012 LP. E is the approval of tax increment reinvestment zone number 1 incentive project. And F is the approval of amendment home rental rehabilitation project contract. G is the approval amendment community housing development organization. H is the approval license and hold harmless agreement. I is the dedication and acceptance. Are there any items that need to be removed for separate consideration by the Commission? If not, are there any items that need to be discussed by the audience, any of the speakers, or by the Commission? I then entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second. A motion and a second for the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes with a 5-0 vote. This concludes the regularly scheduled meeting of the Amarillo City Commission, the agenda for the commission. We are moving back to executive session.
Correct.
And it's however customary at this time to allow citizens of this community with matters not on the agenda pertaining to city policies, programs, or services to speak to the commission. And the floor is now open for such comments, if anybody would like to come forward. If not, we thank you for your attendance today, and we'll move back to executive session. Thank you. Oh, comment that we were moving through this fairly quickly, but we would be very neglectful if we didn't comment. And I know that she really doesn't want us to, but I would like Donna DeWright to be recognized for an amazing career. She will retire tomorrow, and she has had 36 years with the city and 30 years as the city secretary. She has done an incredible job. We all know who really runs the city, and I don't think there's any question about that, formally or informally. But I would want to say personally and as mayor, thank you for the excellent work you've done. Any comments from any of the commissioners?
I think it's amazing that Donna once worked for the city when she was 3. And yet she survived these 36 years of service. And I see Mr. Hyde back there. She knows a lot about.
We're not going to bring that up here, are we?
Well, Donna wants to. She knows where all the bodies are buried and the closets where all the skeletons are. And have you added up how many of us idiots that you have worked with? How many?
Well, I've had 4 city managers, 7 mayors, and 11 different commissioners.
That's all. It's not. Can you imagine putting up with it? Anyway.
A lot of different personalities. Only one great personality with Donna. Another comment?
Well, I've known Donna for several years, having worked for the city on previous occasions, and I have to say she is the most professional woman that I know, because regardless of what the situation was, she always dealt with everything very professionally, without taking sides, without giving anything away. She's a great secret keeper, she's going to be missed sorely. But I know that she's also made sure that her replacement will take over just like she left it, and will be run just as well. Thank you, Donna, for all your years of service and your friendship.
Donna, I want to tell you personally, I think you're a real gentleman. Thank you so much. And we've got a bunch of letters of recommendation. You just give us a call, and we are ready. I don't know what your next chapter is going to be, but it's going to be a doozy, I'm sure.
You know, I was just thinking, I came here in 1980 back from UT as a reporter, and you had been here about 8 years by that time or something like that. And so I used to call you all the time saying, Donna, what about this? Donna, what about that? And so you have been my constant at City Hall. I don't know what I'm going to do, and I'm calling Donna for everything. So I really appreciate all your help through the years, and you are amazing.
Mr. City Manager.
It was a rare treat, Mayor, to speak on the heels of the commission. But I don't have here that length of time. I started here a little over 8 years ago now, I guess. And, Donna certainly was the knowledge base. Yes, she knows where the bodies are buried. Yes, there's a small amount of truth to she's the one that put a couple of them there. In all seriousness, Donna's everything that's been said and more, and has certainly been just absolutely essential to me in being able to do what I'm doing here. Thanks, Donna.
The term city secretary does not do this job justice. It's a legal term. And she does a lot of things as city secretary to enact legal matters. But the idea of her being a secretary is just a small, tiny piece of what my concept of the secretary is. She does an incredible amount of work to keep things straight and actually runs our elections too. I don't think, do you know how many elections you've had to deal with over your 26 elections. Now, if you want to know about headaches and heartaches, talk to her about the details of elections and getting those ready, because she has just been a stalwart. And I know I've been in the office a limited time, but heard people calling, asking her how they should conduct their elections, because she is really the local expert on any of those things. It's unusual, but I would ask anybody else with the city would like to make a comment at this point. I'm sort of putting you on the spot. Mr. City Attorney?
I'll always take a chance to speak. I agree with everything said, and Donna makes my job easier. She is a pleasure to work with on elections and other legal matters that her office handles. We just wish her all the best in the next phase of life.
We ought to open that back up for public comment after that. So, Mr. Goodrich, come forward, please. But still better stick with your name and address, but if anyone else would like to come forward, city employee or not, you're welcome.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Madam Secretary, I would like to address my comment to Donna DeWright, and I would like to request of her assent to not retire until she checks this through with a lot of private citizens who are not willing to let her go unless she dies or unless she's so advanced age she can no longer write. I would like to keep you in service. This woman has been a blessing to call and talk with whenever I had a concern about city business. I've never been disappointed by the information she shared, and it was always very kindly and respectfully provided. And so I'd say the city's been blessed greatly, and it's a sad day when you leave. Except unless there's somebody maybe better, if that's possible, to take your place. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Goodrich. Anyone else? If not, we will move back to executive session. Thank you for being in attendance today.